County Dublin today, a group of locals is maintaining a chainsaw patrol trying to stop the council from cutting down trees in the town centre. They say the council is justified in its actions on health and safety grounds, but have been doing little to pursue any alternative option. Now, earlier today, Drive Time spoke to Charles Stanley Smith of Untashka and began by asking him if this is an isolated occurrence.
It's not. It's happening all around the country. And it's really a insurance-based problem in that county councils are worried that they'll, end up in an insurance claim or something like that. And we understand, of course, that trees do put out roots and the roots do crack pavements and the like. But instead of doing a proper job on that, the easiest and cheapest way for councils is simply to cut the tree down.
That's Charles Stanley Smith there of Untashka. I'm joined by Skerries resident Shane Holland, who's one of those protesting, and also by Green Party Fingal County Councillor Joe O'Brien. You're both welcome. Shane,
Hello.
When did you first find out what was going to happen to the trees?
Well, we got a 7-day notice last week. Probably came into the house maybe Wednesday or Thursday last week. I think I probably only saw it on Friday. And then acted on it on Saturday morning by ringing the out-of-hours service in Fingal, on Friday night. I don't think I slept, kind of worrying about it, because I suppose in the history of the 13 years since I came to Skerries about 11 years ago, one of the trees outside our house adjacent to us was hit by a car, and it was kind of tipped, and the chainsaw crew came out within hours and just got rid of it. And I was very upset about that, and I told them, what's going to happen. They said, don't worry, this tree will be replaced, and there was a promise that it would be replaced, but it never was replaced.
So what have you been doing now to try to stop the tree felling taking place?
Well, simply we've been standing beside the tree. I have actually chained my van to it some of the evenings to protect the tree, and I have been active, I suppose, putting up signs and trying to gather support. And we now have a vigil going on all day long and up from early in the morning right through to the end of business, just minding the street.
Feeling very strongly about this. How many are joining you?
Oh, there's a whole gang of people outside right now, and this has been going on all day. Unfortunately, I'm actually able to get to work whilst other volunteers step in and do little 2-hour rotas. So we're pretty, people are pretty galvanised here about this.
You know what the council is saying, and I'm going to bring in Joe O'Brien in just a minute. They say it's 12 trees identified for removal, and they need to take them out, because they say it's essential to facilitate planned footpath repair works. The trees have caused irreversible damage to public footpaths, which results in trip hazards and, some cases, legal actions. Over the last number of years, the affected paths, they say, have been repaired on numerous occasions. With regret, they have no option.
Yes, well, I've heard that, and I've spoken a lot, and I deal with the council a fair bit, and I know them in there, and, I know that the condition of some of the paths are in terrible condition. I know people are tripping on them, and people are claiming on them. This is the thing, the reason
but people are claiming, people are tripping, and people, and you may have people who are not that sure of foot on footpaths that are not fit for purpose.
They're not, they're not adequately done. And I suppose, yes, the easiest thing is to take out the tree and run in flat concrete, but we're looking for a solution that will address the issue. As a designer, I'm always interested in solutions, and, I had a 1-hour kind of debate with one of the engineers from Fingal, who didn't seem to be very flexible on anything, and was kind of...
You felt, but I suppose, they're engineers, they have jobs to do as well. Councillor Joe O'Brien, you're a councillor in the area. What's your position?
Can I just, Mary, express the anger of the community of Skerries on the national airwaves, because people are shocked and appalled at what's after happening, and for two main reasons. Firstly, lack of proper consultation. People did not know about this. I've been on the doors for the last 5-6 weeks, and this did not come up, and it was very deliberately timed to coincide with the election and the count as well, I feel. And secondly, there was really no genuine, thorough consideration of alternative methods. Yes, of course, there's going to be cracked pavement, but was there any consideration of remedial work on the routes, remedial work on the footpath as well?
So do you believe this is all about insurance claims?
I think it's partly, I think it's easy, I think it's lazy, I think it's undemocratic as well. We have footpaths all over Skerries in rag order that have nothing to do with trees. So really, people, I think, what's underlying the problem here is that the council do not understand the value that people place in trees. They're part of our town, they're part of our home, and they've come in and literally done a hatchet job of them. And really, there's something missing there in terms of being in touch with the people and being in touch with the community. It's not how local democracy should be done. I'd ask the council to just formally back off and let's sit down around the table and discuss this as what should have been done.
Green Party, Fingal County Councillor Joe O'Brien, thank you. Thank you too to local resident Shane Holland.
It's almost 5 o'clock on RTE Radio 1.